Hi guys, today I have found a new interesting article, Micro SaaS Ideas for Solopreneurs in 2026 from Lovable, and I would like to discuss it with you and share my thoughts about this topic. But before we start, I need to do a small remark that I tried the Lovable. I just generated some project. As you can see here, my prompt: create for me web application for scrape and analyze comments from YouTube videos. This service just made a good project for me, but of course it's generated, and we can see that it's the design is really primitive and so common. But anyway, it worked, and but now I don't know how, but it's disappeared from my preview. But at least we can take a look at code that was generated by Lovable, and yeah, there are some moments that we should discuss, because being a professional full stack developer, and by the way, I have more than 13 years of experience, I can just rapidly say that it's a AI generated code, and it's nothing like it's really bad or it's good, but there is something that would be hard to maintain indeed. So for example, this code is pretty fine, nothing wrong with it, at least too much, it's totally okay. Maybe this one is debatable, that we store these objects right inside this component, but anyway, it's acceptable, at least for AI actually. So we use Tailwind, and it's actually pretty good. And Tailwind, it's you can see is there a work of AI or is a human work, because Tailwind, it's always Tailwind. It's just small classes, small util classes in the HTML or in React application templates. I always see this issue in AI generated code, that there is mismatch in conceptual problems. Like, for example, this one, AI always generates the code which works mostly on the front end part. For example, sorting and filtering. Actually, the best practices is just implement the sorting and filtering and pagination on the backend side. Just because the user doesn't need to upload the whole list of your files, of your entities, because it might be a really huge portion of files, maybe 1,000 files, and somehow AI always generate that these sorting and filtering implements is implemented in the front end, but it's wrong, it's totally wrong, and it's a conceptual issue. And yes, we should rewrite the code after that. It's a common AI issue here, but anyway, it's actually, this page is okay. At least you can read the code, you can fix something, but there are some really strange things, like this one, for example. It's just AI slop. I swear, it's just AI slop, and it's garbage. As a human beings, we never do this like this. So it's just return string with HTML. So yes, it's just AI generated stuff, and it's just not maintainable at all. We need to make just a typical component for error. At least I didn't see at all stuff like that in real production products. There is a trend, a tendencies, that on Upwork, for example, there are many job posts with clients who ask about transfer their lovable project into a real React application, and they always claim that their project is already ready to use, or maybe 80% or 75% of the product is done, and you just need to polish some issues and make it real, not AI generated. But yes, for clients it looks like most of work are done, but they see just styles, they see just like Figma transferring to React application, and yeah, it looks like it's done, but it's not. If you are a developer, you completely understand what I mean, because you need so many things to finish before you launch this project. For example, integrate the real backend, integrate it in test edge cases, specify all edge cases for later testing. Also, just verify and check all code, clean this code from AI slope, AI garbage, etc. So it requires a lot of time for developer to figure it out and really prepare this project to launching. But at least it's a good start. I don't argue with this. It really helps to start extremely rapidly, extremely fast, and it's cool feature, but we need to finish the work after AI a lot. So let's go back to our article, Micro SaaS Ideas for Solopreneurs from Lovable, this project that I have shown you. So the gap between having a software idea and launching it has collapsed. Yes, maybe debatable topic, but I agree actually that maybe it's not collapsed, but it's changed to positive direction, of course. Founders now ship products that once required engineering teams, and the economics have never been better for niche software businesses. Yeah, this topic of niche businesses, it's actually a debatable topic. I mean, for solopreneurs, yes, it's true, because, you can't just run your whole social network, for example, like Instagram or Facebook, or some difficult, hard to maintain product. And yes, you'd better need to specify yourself, focus more on one niche, but it's not about AI actually, because it's related to the whole concept of marketing sales. Yes, because nowadays it's extremely hard to position yourself as a Switzerland knife. It takes time to find clients if you are ultra expert in many different topics, in many different niches, and it's just better to faster to find clients if you are focused on something really narrow. Okay, and it's not just about AI actually, but it's article from Lovable, and of course they are selling here their service, their web service, Lovable, for generate websites. We need to keep it in mind. So the global SaaS market reached about 400,000 billion in 2024, and is projected to hit more than 800,000 billion by 2030. And so actually we see here that the trend is increasing. Yeah. So SaaS actually is increasing because, it's some controversial topic because, for example, yesterday I have launched my YouTube video about SaaS apocalypse, that SaaS is changing drastically. And nowadays we see something like collapse of SaaS because of AI. But actually in this article we see that the SaaS market is increasing. It's totally okay. You will see the lot of controversials and on this theme, on this topic, because hype topics are always controversial. So, and we will discuss it later more and more, and different bloggers will discuss it. So, but at least for us, it's a good piece of news. Yes. So it's really good news that the market is growing. Yeah, for us as developers, as solopreneurs, it's a really good sign. And again, we see this such a note here. The focused scope means you can build and launch in 4 to 12 weeks rather than months. Yes, it's true. I don't argue with this. AI is kind of amplifier for you if you are already able to develop some project. Especially for MVP, it's really fast. Yeah, it's true. But to launch real project and maintain it, maybe no. It's amplifier by AI, but not so much as you may think. Yeah, and now interesting part that actually Lovable shows us real opportunities, real topics, niches where we can start developing our project with Lovable or without. I am not sponsored by Lovable, by the way. I just share my thoughts about this article. Number one, AI-powered content repurposing tool, turn one place into 10. I went to this project just to walk around and see their landing. And it's just so interesting that we hear a lot about competitors that there is no place for newbies. The market is so competitive, but you can see that it's this tool. I have seen many of such tools before AI. Even 7 years ago, I saw the services like this. Yeah, it just allows you to publish your video, your post on different platforms by one click. Yeah, guys, it's amazing that we see a lot about competitions, that market is over competitive, but now you can see that just a simple idea that was solved before again is increasing in terms of popularity. Yeah, and maybe they even have paid clients. So again, it's not about competition, it's not about idea, it's all about execution. If you're able to acquire many clients, or you have a guy, or you have a sales department, or you have a sponsor like investor who can get many clients, or who can give you money to run ads, then yes, everything is possible. Any idea is possible to make it real. Number two, second one, niche job board for specialized industries, quality over volume. Yes, and it's interesting, but again, it's interesting not about the platform. In my opinion, I see that it's much easier to attract people, clients through a niche. Yeah, and because niched advertisements costs less than just common ads for everyone, because now you can target to a specific target audience, and yeah, it should be cheaper for you again. And it's not about actually development, because job board is it's just an easy project. And again, before AI, we had WordPress, Joomla, any CMS, because it's easy to develop some project with these tools also. So you don't need to know how to code. You don't need to use AI and fix bugs. You just can pick any project like WordPress or Joomla or Drupal, etc., and you can go with this. It's also a solution. So again, it's all about execution, not about coding and development. Three, client portal for service businesses, your client's home base. Three, in my opinion, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to maintain and scale. So I wouldn't start with this one. But anyway, it's up to you. Subscription payment recovery tool. Actually, the problem is really interesting. It's like B2B project. I am into B2B. I really like it. But again, in my opinion, it's hard. And at least, even if you are a coder, if you are a developer, you should understand the domain. You should understand this sphere of Stripe, of banking services, etc. So if you knew how to do that, then you wouldn't see my video. At least I think so. Interesting idea. Thank you, Lovable. AI meeting notes, not actually. So I don't agree that this is a good stuff to start with, because I have seen it in different platforms. I think maybe in Zoom or Loom. This one idea is interesting for me, at least. Discovery to campaign tracking. Yeah, actually, you just can be specific and just can pick one target audience, so one of your potential clients, and just work for them. Just imagine and implement something helpful for them. And it's nothing new in this idea. It was explained deeply in Cast Dev. Yeah, there is Cast Dev. There are books about Cast Dev, customer development, and it's really interesting. But again, it's not like something huge. It's You should read it, but again, it's not like you read it and you will become rich. No, it's it doesn't work in this way. But anyway, skills are really important, and it helps your mind to be more broadly opened. Local business review aggregator, maybe it's okay, but I think we have many of them already developed and already work in production. Appointment scheduling, no, I'm not sure, but here we see again for niche services. So maybe, but again, I have this question: why people need something niche for appointment if they have already Calendary, Google Meets, etc.? Why do they use your service because it's niched. I'm not sure. Number 10, personal finance dashboard. Interesting idea. Yeah, maybe it's an interesting paragraph. I won't read it just because we have no time. Thank you for your attention. It was an interesting article. I have shared all my thoughts with you, so please subscribe and like this video if you like it. Wait for the next topics that I will discuss with you. Bye bye.